I'm here with the guys from Seven Kingdoms to talk about their tour that they're on right now. They're headlining across North America, playing Toronto tonight. It feels like I just saw you guys like a month ago.
You did.
It hasn't been too long.
Oh, I did. Yeah.
It was like, I mean, when was that? It was in the tour ended in June. Because it was May
had
and
that cool
June.
pizza place right next door. But it
Was at the Garrison. You guys played the Garrison.
Garrison,
Yeah. With Seven Kingdoms in a band that shall not be named. So the first question I have for you guys is, I know you guys are not fans of pirates, and I'm not going to ask you about pirates, but how has this tour been? I hope you guys haven't been taken overboard by a sailing ship.
No, I mean the ships are always after us. Let's just say they tried to take us down, but they can't. So, but we're here. We're here. I mean, we're doing a headlining tour because we had the Mad with Power festival and then Prog Power. So it's like logistically, we're trying to we have to drive from Florida to Madison. So it's like, why don't you just start in Texas and go up? You know what I mean? And then just play some shows, and then on the way there, and then essentially to Prog Power is 2 more weeks after that. So we turned it into a tour, you know what I mean? Just to try to see what the Powerwolf shows and the Rhapsody and Windrose tours did.
To see how that market is for us now.
So it's essentially besides not even so much how many people show up, but it's which tours T-shirts are they wearing, and that's kind of where you see the returns. You know what I mean? Because otherwise we didn't have the 2 festivals. We would just be sitting at home waiting for the next album essentially, but because we have the 2 festivals.
Well, we would have drove anyway, but it was a lot.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. The expense to not pick up a couple shows there would just eat up all the money that the fest pays you. So you have to turn it into a run.
So when you go on the road now as a headliner, does that create extra pressure for you guys in terms of what you want to get out of the tour?
I think I was pretty much expecting obviously a lower turnout.
Yeah, I mean we're not Windrose, so it's just if we can get 50 to 100 people at these shows, that's essentially a win for us. Because I mean, and a lot of especially post COVID too, a lot of the promoters we actually went out and asked them to put locals on because we want to meet the bands that are in the area, and they're the ones that especially if chance happens and there's a power metal band in the area, they're gonna be the people that will whip up the fucking underground. You know what I mean? So a couple of the places they just put it on sale and they don't do anything, and just oh, you know what I mean? Especially the mid part of the U.S., where the tumbleweeds are and stuff like that. But it was nice. It was in Dallas, it was just a tour package, but you saw the Powerwolf show show up. You know what I mean? It's almost 100 people. So it's just and it was in a proper venue, like a 250 cap or something like that had tables and stuff. So it looked good. You know what I mean? And then you just kind of weasel your way up all the way to Wisconsin, and then Wisconsin was really nice. I mean, that was crazy. We actually we sold our merch record at that festival.
We beat the
Powerwolf show. So that was really good. And that's the whole reason is just getting to Mad with Power and then getting to Prog Power. So.
But no, we were actually talking about how stressful it is since we're headlining. So
because
and we feel bad for the bands we're bringing because it's I hope they don't expect a huge.
We're not Windrose, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the same thing is when we've been supporting for so long, for I think our last time we played by ourselves was maybe 5 years ago. So we've been.
This is our show.
Yeah, we've been the ones that pull up to the venue at 4 o'clock. We slept, we drove 3 hours, from noon. We got to stay till noon in the hotel, and now it's just you got to get up at 9, between 9 and 11, to make that extra 3 hours to the thing because you got to be there first. We're carrying the back line, you know what I mean? We're loading it in, and then they kind of come in and play it. So it's all of our stuff has to be on point, on time, and out of the way, and then they count on us to do that every day, so that their show is good. You know what I mean?
Yeah, this is fine. That's the easy part, but it's just
it's pretty efficient though because everybody's sharing a backline on this tour. So there's one drum set, so it's good. I mean, it's got its pluses and minuses. I mean, obviously I'm used to tour managing all these bands, so I'm kind of just more no one's texting me. You know what I mean? It's just I don't have to make settlement till I get off stage. It's super a lot more low key. But since I haven't done it with just my band essentially in a long time, it's kind of I keep feel I'm missing something. You know what I mean? Just because I don't have someone constantly asking for something.
Now he's just got me asking him where the bathroom is.
I was gonna say there's no using the bathroom on the bus, but you guys don't have a bus, so you don't have to worry about that.
It's just the van. That's what I'm saying. We're super efficient. We own the van. We just made the investment after COVID because we were we got a bunch of tours lined up. Let's just buy it. and she's been
It's
good.
paid off already.
It's over 400,000 miles.
Yeah. So when it comes to the set list, this changes for you guys because you go from opening with having about 30 minutes to having double the time.
Double the time, yeah.
So did this create a different kind of headache now? Because the headache of having a lot of songs and not enough time, now it's the other way around. Now you have a lot of time, so how many songs are you going to put in it?
And picking the songs
Picking the
has
songs,
been a little difficult.
Well, I mean, obviously we're on Zenith right now, so we're going to play the majority of that because we're not like after this tour, we're not playing North America like at all until the next record's out.
Yeah.
So we'll be down, like no one's gonna hear from us for like probably half a year or something like that. We'll try to get it out. We're trying to like finish the master maybe in like March, just so like it's just sitting there ready to go for whatever happens, because we're in talks with like tours next year already. So essentially these are the last shows, so we wanted to make sure we brought the Zenith out, you know what I mean, and focused on that. But then the last part of this, like the last third of the set, we actually gave to our Patreon and Discord, and we came up with like 13 songs that we're willing to play that are old, and like let them pick. So they picked 5 songs that are at the end of the set. So it's like
Very democratic of you guys.
well, it's just like why decide when the people that are buying the tickets can
we
just do
don't
it
know
for
what's
you, you know?
good.
Because like we were okay with these 13 songs, like whatever it is, like like
the
y'all
songs
make
we
this,
had like the bass for and everything.
yeah. And you can kind of
proud.
like you put like song 11, 12, and 13. It's like they're not gonna pick this. I know there's gonna be like 2 people that pick this and like freak out because it's even on the list. But then like the majority are gonna pick like the hits out of this one. You know what I mean? Which is exactly what happened. So, but yeah, it's essentially like we do Zenith and then we do like 5 old songs. So and then that was all picked by our like Patreon and Discord people.
Do you guys look at this tour with any sort of barometer for what you want to get out of it, or how it's going to help you perhaps in book future tours, or do you feel like the Windrose tour, the Powerwolf shows, did that do enough for you guys that this tour is not really going to change the needle that much in terms of perceptions?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it changes the perception at all. The idea, at least from the inner workings, was just like they need to survive it, and just surviving it is like the main goal. They did it. You know what I mean? Like they did it, and everybody was happy essentially at the end.
Yeah.
You know, the money is. I mean, thankfully to our fans, the merch is always usually pretty good. So like we don't really have there's no financial stress for us on this one. It's been very good for us, and I mean I knew we wouldn't have done it if it was like too many things pointing south essentially.
Yeah.
But like because of the fests, you know what I mean. It's maximizing the return on the fests essentially, because we would have almost the same amount of expenses just to get to both of them, like either driving back or flying in with all the gear and stuff like that. So and then it's like I said, it's mostly to like see and have FaceTime with the promoters and stuff like that. Because I mean, this is the last time we play alone, essentially, because the whole next record cycle again is going to be supporting larger artists.
Yeah.
And we're not in the business of headlining right now. We're still like trying to like vacuum up other bands' fans. You know what I mean? So like, and I don't see us like getting off that train indefinitely, really. I mean, we could be 50 years old, like still supporting, or but like special guests, or somewhere on someone else's tour.
Yeah.
We would never. I don't think we're a band that would ever stop wanting to grow. So like you would always see us, even when I have like no hair. I'm 65. You know what I mean? I was like, hey, we're supporting somebody. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like we would always like we're a very realistic band, and like that's the only way you can grow. And I know there's a lot of big bands that refuse to do that. And I've seen that happen, and I'm like,
from the TM.
From the TMing point of view, it's just like, stop. Like, you have all these other opportunities. You know what I mean? So it's just like I'm trying to learn older bands the things they should do at that phase, and do it earlier in our
Especially
career,
when their market ebbs and flows.
Yeah, because you got to. That's what I'm saying. Like, if we get we're just in the business of supporting. Because like we have the van. And like the trailer that we have, it's really like modeled to that kind of like, we can carry like 6 people max. You know what I mean? So it's luckily we don't have a bassist, so we can carry a merch guy and then a front of house. Sound guy. We have to, like we have on this tour. Yeah. But like we have everything. It fits exactly this mold, and it's efficient. We own the van, so like it allows us to survive and like actually come home with some money to survive, so we can do this more
continue
of a
to doing
full-time
this. Yeah.
thing.
Prepare for the next one.
Yeah. One last question for you guys. I'm going to be seeing you guys at Prog Power in a couple of weeks. It's going to be my first time going to Prog Power.
Oh, cool.
You guys are familiar with that festival.
Oh, yeah.
So for somebody
He is,
like
yeah.
me, he is for sure. So if somebody like me who's going there for the first time, what tips do you have? Or for anybody watching that's going there and seeing you guys there as well?
Yeah, Prog Power. Get there. I mean, if you want to, we're on at like 3. I think the doors are at like 1. I think there's 2 hours before we play on Thursday. Everybody, from the back workings of it, because I manage the festival, every band gets treated as a headliner, and they are allowed to play a headlining set. Essentially, that's the visual, and that's how they try to deliver the bands to the fans. Is like they all get an hour. There's like a big 30-minute changeover. You know what I mean? Center Stage is a cool venue. It doesn't have the greatest PA in the world, but like depending on who's mixing, you know what I mean, it'll vary, but it's a good sounding room still. It's a cool venue because it's got the big like I don't know, it's like the bowl seating kind of thing, and then the live floor. But it's a cool place. I mean, it'll be. We feel lucky because like at Mad with Power and then at Prog Power, we get to have that moment of like the proper show that we don't really get all the time. You know what I mean? Because like our future is still, until we sell out these 200 and 300 cap clubs, like we're there. You know what I mean? So it's nice to get to play these big stages every now and then, because I think that we as a band do better when we have like 1,000 people in front of us, even if we have to win them over, and on a bigger stage and a bigger PA. I think that we do better with a larger crowd, especially when it's not ours, because we're like, it's time to listen to us kind of thing. You know what I mean? And that's more of a challenge, and it's exciting for us. I mean, not that this isn't fun, because it's like, even if there's like 40 or 50 people, like it changes like when every single one of them singing your lyrics. It's like, oh, wow, this was worth it. You know what I mean?
This is what we're used to.
Yeah.
Smaller
So
crowds.
so it's just like it's really
It's obviously very exciting.
Yeah, but I mean, the Prog Power Fest is definitely going to give you like it's like a proper show essentially. Like you'll see this one, and then you'll go see that one, and then you'll be like, oh, okay, like I get it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's only something you can see and experience. I mean, Prog Power is the same way. It's I mean, anyone who's been to a music festival, like there's a lot more focus on these 6 bands that day, versus like this big lineup and then it's jumping from stage to stage. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's definitely a quality show from all the bands. That's about the most, like that's the focus really. So and it's a cool atmosphere. Everybody knows everybody. There's a lot of people who've been going for a long time. So like you'll see these like cliques everywhere you go, kind of thing. Oh, is it Noel? No, spam. Get out of here.
Spam.
Yeah, but no, Prog Power's sick. Like it's really good.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I'll be seeing you guys there, but before that, I'll be seeing you guys tonight. So thank you very much for your time. All the best with the tour. It's always a pleasure to have you guys in
Thank
Toronto.
You very much.
And
I'll have a longer set for you this time.
That's what I'm looking for.
Right,
that's what I'm excited about, because last time with Windrose, it was good, but it was one of those that I was still hungry afterwards. You know what I mean? Like the meal was good, but man, there was room for more.
Yeah.
So now we're gonna get more.
Yeah, you're gonna go all the way to dessert with us tonight.
You're gonna get too much.
No, there's no such thing as too much. I'm looking forward to it. So thank you very much for your time.
Thank you very much, man.
Thank you.